Hey YouTube. I ran into the core of Lanturn and Noctowl so many times already in early in Great League, and it's such a broken core that I decided to build the best team I can to break that core. So what I did was I started actually with abomasnow. So it is a shadow abomasnow. You can use regular abomasnow though, but abomasnow is a great answer because it obviously as a ice type is going to just destroy the flyer, and it's a secondary grass type and is going to destroy Lanturn. So it's the best answer to both those. And then I was going through PV Poke, looking at the rankings, and I'm like, what else beats this? And registeel obviously was one of the top answers because registeel, obviously, being a steel, is a great answer to the Noctowl. It can only throw the shadow balls, plus you have Zap Cannon, and then you just basically outbulk the Lanturn. So that was the start. So we have two Pokemon that are okay for covering each other's weaknesses, except for that you are double weak to fighting is the main issue here, right? Like in terms of covering your weakness, you're weak to rock on abomasnow, so you cover that with registeel, and you're both double weak to fire, but that's not a huge issue in this meta right now. If you see a fire in the back here, you can still get like focus blast and zap cannons off, but it's much trickier. Anyways, so basically covering the fighting weakness and covering to a certain extent the fire weakness. So I started with altaria. Because altaria is not only a great fighting answer, it actually beats Noctowl and Lanturn as well. So you have three Pokemon on this team that beats all three of the Lanturn Noctowl core, which is great. So I'm staying in here, which is kind of risky because you need to try and draw out a fighter soon. But at this point, I will just farm down and shield, and then I'll maybe switch out into a fighter next here. Just depends on what they do. And they gave up switch to get into an altaria, which is very interesting. And I don't need to throw there, especially that I have a super effective shadow abomasnow, which is going to do 2 times effective. So I could have just banked that move. But again, abomasnow is such a great answer to flyers. You are weak to flying, so you do need to shield up here. But being double weak to ice here is just easy farm down range, and then I probably would have had, I think they were running double flyer there, quite honestly. I think they just didn't get out in time. Swampert, again, I have 2 answers for this in altaria and abomasnow, so I'm just gonna stay in here for now. I wanted to throw a move and then I will probably get out, or what I may do is just commit the shield and then come in Reggie after, like farm down here. And I was about to say, then come Reggie, but now they go up switch, and this game's looking like it's over already. I have a shield advantage. This is going to throw absolutely nothing at me of consequence. I think they go straight Brave Bird, which now means they're 2 times lowered, which means I could just go straight Focus Blast because this is still neutral. Focus Blast is a boom of a move, so goodbye Skarmory. Out comes a Swampert again, which it is loaded with energy, but I know it has Sludge, and 1 Hydro is probably not going to take me out from this range. So they get the 1 off. I will get to move unless they throw. They decide not to throw, which is fine. So they end up coming both shields, going for the full farm down, which is fine. And out comes an Azumarill, and hello, hard counter city looks like right now. I have a great answer to Azumarill. You could take one. You could take one player off for Ice Beam, so it's not too much of an issue to let this go. But I will just shield up, chip this a bunch, and they quit there. The problem with this team, as I mentioned, abomasnow is weak to rock. So you have problems with rock and steel on this team. So in this matchup, we have a mirror match here. I have a great answer actually in abomasnow, but I'm just out bulking here, and out comes a Reggie, and I make a huge mistake here. So the Altaria matchup against Reggie is bad. But you can do chip damage. The problem is I have no answer to this, but I thought, like, I chipped with Dragon Breath. I can now just get 1 Focus Blast off to take this out. They still need 3 to take me out. But they were so far ahead on energy that they're going to be able to get to, and these lock-ons are actually locking on me down, which is unfortunate. So this is when I scrap the team, just because if you see like a registeel, or you see on the lead, or you see a Bastiodon on the lead, you're just in huge trouble, and there's nothing you can do. So I came in here to try and just chip. They do get a move off, which is going to hurt a lot because shadow on shadow action. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can between like and now here comes a fighter, so I'm just going to chip this as much. Because maybe I could have got an energy ball off and then that would have done good chip damage, and then I could have done a bunch of damage with like sky attacks and stuff. But they are smart to just basically sacrifice the Metachamp, knowing that they're going to take the registeel with ease here. I could still get like a couple moves off, but now they get a move off to take me out. So that is when I scrapped this team. I still like the thought process of the back line. It just needs something else to take care of like Bastion and registeel. So I put in Stunfisk. Because Stunfisk is a electric type, so the normal Stunfisk, so electric type, and playing this more as an ABB style team fully. But the problem with this team is, I think I did well with it, and you're going to see Stunfisk actually coming through in the clutch in this matchup. The problem is, you don't have a fighting resistance anywhere. So if you get like a Metachamp on you in the front end here, or like, even if you get a Metachamp on you in the back end and then you come with Stunfisk, Stunfisk isn't like a hard answer for Metachamp. You kind of do okay. You can just spam these mud shots, but you're just going to get like outbulked and outpaced in general, which is where the limitations are. So I did a couple matchups of this, and like you're going to see, like, look at Lanturn's on the team right now. I'm coming in here just because this is a better answer. Like, you are weak to Surf, right? Because you're half ground. So I'm just like coming in here because I know I can absorb every move here. That is no problem. Get a bit of energy advantage here. So take this out. Up a shield. Out comes the Frostlass. We CMP. I'm probably going to commit the shield because I know I can get it back here because this can do a ton damage. And if I remember, they end up shielding, and I think it is a Noctowl in the back. So Lanturn, Noctowl, Frostlass. So you're basically just going to see how the team works in action here. They decide to farm all the way up and throw. I'm going to commit the shield. Get this, I'm not going to throw it in case they try and catch. Get this energy ball off. What is in the back? It is a Noctowl. So I just get farmed down. Oh, I was about to farm down, but here we go. 2 Shadow Balls, as you're going to see here, are not going to do enough damage to take out Stunfisk. And you are electric, so the wing attacks are resisted, and that is how you beat a Noctowl Lanturn core. So weaknesses of this team are obviously, you don't have a great answer to a fighter in the front. Pro is, the Stunfisk is spammy enough to just chip a ton with Mud Bomb. It covers both Lanturn with Mud Bombs and Bastion and Glaring Stunfisk, like, is your hardest answer there. So I got a great answer here. I am running Thundershock, which is fine. Still neutral here. And you get to the Mud Bomb super quickly, and they can only throw flamethrowers at you because you're half ground, so you're resisting all the rock type moves, I think. So yeah, so they throw a flamethrower, which is non-stab, and then they come with Metachamp, and this is where I'm like, crap. Like, you don't have an answer to Metachamp, and you've already been chipped a ton. So like, what do I do here? I'm thinking like, you know what, this is now low enough. I'm gonna force them to throw here. I can live it, and then come in Registeel, because it is now low enough that one Zap Cannon is probably gonna take this out. And they just showed me Ice Punch, so it's probably Ice Punch Psychic, right? So they don't have really any charge move to throw at me. And I get the Attack Fall, which that helps with these counter damage. So even if they throw Psychic or Ice Punch, it's going to be resisted. And then I'll probably be able to get a second move off here before they counter me down. They may actually just commit the shield and double and farm me down, which is, I think, what they do, because I remember having to get, my my Bastion to a certain extent on the so blind swap, which is killer for them. I'm just going to farm down all the way. I expect the Bastion to come in. Good news is I have an energy ball for the Bastion, and this is still going to chip because this is neutral. I think it's neutral. Yeah, it's neutral damage, which does a ton. And now I can double spam here to take this out. And then I will be able to just, oh, only need one move. Now I can throw here, and then I can Powder Snow, Weather Ball down. So again, not a great answer to Medicham. But you can spam enough, and then like I said, like if you get one move in there, then you're within Zap Cannon range. So there's potential. But if you don't want to do that, a third nice answer is Defense Deoxys. And Defense Deoxys covers basically all the problems that I just showcased, where you have your steals, like Bastiodon, Registeel, the counter damage is going to do a bunch of damage there. You have fighters, your Psychic, so you resist all the Medichams, and if you see like a Defense Deoxys or whatever, like you'll cover those. Or yeah, Defense Deoxys, you'll be mirror match, or if you see whatever, you'll cover those. Yeah, so it was a pretty good answer. I think I did 2 sets with it. I think I won both. I've got the second one coming up here. I forget what happens. The only issue with this team is what happens if you see a Sableye or Trevenant on the lead, because it's a hard lead loss, but Registeel is not a really good answer to either of them. You could come abomasnow against Trevenant, but then you're like, if you do get hit with like a Steel or something in the back, or Bastiodon, you're just like in trouble. So that is the problem with this team. The thing with Go Battle League is you're never going to have just like amazing matchups across the board, right? You're always going to have some weakness. So it's basically pick your weakness. The first team with Altaria, great answer to fighting, great answer like Medicham and stuff, adds a second weakness to Registeel, Bastiodon, stuff like that. Stunfisk, great answer to Lanturn, Noctowl. Okay, can spam a bunch in the mid game there against like Sableye or Medicham, stuff like that, but it's not a hard answer to Medicham. And then Defense Deoxys here is a great lead in general for most things except for Ghosts. And Registeel doesn't have an amazing matchup against Ghosts because, I mean, Lock-On resisted. You don't do a ton of damage with Lock-On anyways, but against Trevenant, both your moves are resisted. So that is where it gets tricky. Again, you don't need to run an ABB style team, right? What you could do is run something like get rid of Reggie or Obama, but get rid of one of the two. So you only have one fighting weakness in the back. Pair it with one of the Pokemon that I mentioned in the front here. So I catch Ace. Oh, it's probably going to be Shadow Ball anyways. But I think I chipped it enough that it's now within Zap Cannon range. So when you have basically 3 Noctowl answers on your team and they safe swap Noctowl, it's beautiful. So there goes the one. There is your fighter coming in here. I'm going to let this go. The problem now is Psycho Boost will one-shot this because it's double weak to that. So I think I can just go back to back here because I'll grab both shields, and then I'm going to have to reset on the abomasnow, which is not amazing, but it's not bad because I'll grab both shields, and then I'll shield up one probably, or I'm just going to let it, oh yeah, I was supposed to say, I'll probably shield up one because I think this is enough. Powder Snow and Weather Balls are going to chip enough, right, that they're going to have to throw eventually, or else I'm going to take them out. And if I take them out, I can now chip this. They're not going to lock on me down realistically, and then I can chip there, and then it just counters through. So again, you don't need to run an AB style team. Again, both back beat the Lanturn Noctowl core very easily. Sort of cover each other's weaknesses to a certain extent, because Bastiodon, like Registeel will deal with Bastiodon and the other steals. And abomasnow will deal with like Trevenant and stuff like that. So they do cover each other's weaknesses to a certain extent. Fighting is the issue, so you have options in the front, or you can go like just abomasnow. I think earlier in the season, like Swampert, I think I used like Swampert, Sableye, abomasnow, a bunch, stuff like that, as like a bounce team. Doesn't work as well with Noctowl, but it's not terrible. Anyways, that is my putting together a team to take care of that core. So let me know if you run any sort of similar style teams to beat that core. And we will keep going. Yeah. So be on the lookout for videos. I don't know, I'm still shooting, but I'm definitely going to have at least one extra video, maybe 2 extra videos before the Wednesday deadline. So I'll probably do a couple afternoon videos, maybe Monday, Tuesday. So check out those. But I appreciate you watching. Thanks for the comments and thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.